Well, the first thing that comes into my mind when I think of IoT is my phone buzzing a notification from the Samsung Health app that I have 5,000 steps to walk for the day to maintain my health, or gives me a notification that this is the ideal meal to eat, or my bank account notifying that I have less than £10 in my account, or my Amazon app reminding me to purchase the zillion items I left on the online cart. Even though there is a valid criticism from cybersecurity and privacy advocates, yet usage of IoT applications and devices are increasingly been a part of our lives, and digital marketers take keen interest in implementing the data collected through these devices to have an exponential growth and branding for their companies or clients. What is IoT? The Internet of Things is defined by Marketo as the interconnectedness of our digital devices that gives unlimited potential for companies to listen and respond to their customer demands with the right message at the right time on the appropriate device. IoT has limitless possibilities, from resolving customer complaints to closing transactions, studying client buying patterns, and providing rapid notifications. IoT data will make it easier for businesses to understand where their customers are in the purchasing process. Let's look at where and how it all started. The term IoT was first coined by Kevin Ashton in 1999. In 2006, Twitter was launched for public use where people were connected through a social media platform. In 2007, iPhone introduced into the market. 2008, number of devices outnumbers the number of people on Earth. In 2009, Google tests self-driving cars, a start for automation. In 2010, various mobile smart home applications were launched. In 2014, Amazon launches Echo and various smart accessories began to appear. The smartwatch, launched by Apple in 2015, which had various features like taking calls from the watch, counting the number of steps the customers have walked, or the pulse rate. The 5G technology was launched in 2019. So what is next in 2022? With various developments over the years, like the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, RFID, and the main 5G technology. In this era, the analyst firm Gartner says that by 2020 there will be over 26 billion connected devices. Research stated that the technologies like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee will dominate connects, accounting for 72% in 2030. Predictions that there will be 550 million 5G subscriptions in 2022, forecast of 1.7 billion subscribers worldwide by 2025. This only means that the better connection, the better data that we can collect from the customers and give them the best engagement. Let's understand the role of IoT in digital marketing. Product design. With the help of IoT, companies can understand what customers actually expect from their brands, which will help to improve their product quality and design. Heiko is one of the best examples. It's a grocery scanner that lets you order groceries from Walmart and Peapod. The users can talk into the device to create a list of products for purchase. The software remembers the prior purchases and recommends them, which makes a lot of sense for groceries and covering the basics. Analyzing the customer's behavior towards your brand, I think the Coca-Cola's 2018 marketing strategy is the best example. This strategy, with the F&B giant launching connected coolers, the smart coolers could constantly gather customer behavioral data, optimizing sales and operations. A similar IoT example is the Amazon Go initiative, a chain of retail stores where the entire customer journey from walk-in to checkout is guided by connected devices. Moving on to customer insights. Did you know Petron is the first luxury spirit brand on Amazon Alexa platform pairing with the Echo Smart speaker to bring their customers over 150 cocktail recipes? So how is this engagement tracked? With analytics, of course. Petron actually uses analytics to better shape the experience. They tend to look at a bunch of factors, including where the customers spend their time, how much time they're spending there, and when they're abandoning. Looking at better customer experience through personalization, I think the best example is Iguazio. This startup dedicated the building of unified data platforms and real-time insights across Internet of Things. Companies like Bosch, whose investment in this company makes a lot of sense, for their sell-in-car systems. The connected car that knows when a part is faulty and can order a replacement with minimal user input. You know that normally marketers spend a lot of time and effort gathering customer data, but IoT helps marketers to save time on gathering and analyzing data and gives sufficient data to run automated campaigns. Tempo IQ is one of those companies that connects IoT sensor devices to the cloud to provide real-time analytics. Last but not the least is the customer delight. Tank Utility is an IoT's company that monitors and sends alerts to your mobile phone when you're running out of propane gas. Using magic level tech, it compiles the information into graphs and charts to help use it better. The device itself connects to your existing Wi-Fi so you can monitor it anywhere in the world. Obviously, any marketer wants to give the fastest customer service. With the use of real-time data, marketers can respond to their customers faster and provide them with solutions.
Hi, I'm Prasang, and I'll be walking you through some of the important elements of IoT as well as some statistics that are related to IoT and connected devices. Firstly, the most important core element of IoT is a sensor, which are basically gathering information all the time from the IoT device. They're collecting data from their environment or from the object or the person under their measurement. Then we also have the gateway, which is basically a virtual bridge that connects IoT devices with the cloud or a network. And then there's the basically the cloud, the big brain behind IoT, which stores all the data from which the IoT device can fetch data, and obviously it communicates through that cloud. And then we have the user interface, which is the visible step of the IoT device. It is this final, interface, the thing that connects it to the people, to our consumers. Next, we also have 5G. So 5G is one of the most important aspects of why IoT devices have started to gain so much traction. 5G is basically the newest cellular technology, and it's the bandwidth due to which the adoption of IoT devices has accelerated. And IoT devices basically tend to run a lot faster and more reliably on 5G networks. And as marketers, this is important for us because we need these IoT devices to be always connected, to be always in touch with the customers that we have, so that they can continuously gather the data that's required for our marketing campaigns, and to make a personalized experience for our customers and the consumers. Next, we also talk a bit about the capabilities of 5G, which spans several dimensions, which also includes tremendous amount of flexibility, which is important for IoT devices. The most important part is that 5G has lower energy requirements, which helps the IoT devices to last almost 10 times longer than they usually would on the battery, which is quite important, because it makes the IoT devices more accessible and more convenient for our end consumer. 5G also has a greater capacity, obviously faster speeds and bandwidth. There's also improved security, and the data rates are also much better. So the adoption of IoT devices is definitely going to be very, helped because of this particular technology of 5G. Also, while 3G and 4G, have definitely propelled the number of smartphones and the connected devices in the world, we can see that 5G can almost increase it to 35 billion devices of IoT. And the total number of internet users obviously are pretty high already. That's almost 66% of the world population is using the internet continuously, which is also a huge opportunity for us, because as marketers we see that consumers tend to spend on average 7 hours per day on internet. They are browsing on their smartphones. They have a high device ownership for smartphones and laptops. So we know that IoT is something that can be adopted by them more easily now. They are already familiar with the technology of smartwatches and fitness trackers, and the time spent on the phones is only going to increase. And we also know that IoT devices are connected 24/7, which means that the consumer will be connected to us 24/7. And it's not just about 7 hours, but we can have the data about them all the time. Finally, some marketing statistics. So the US is leading the way in obviously deploying the full scale of the IoT technology and the operations around that, with almost 44% of the companies now adopting this technology. And we know that IoT has various applications in the retail as well as the clothing and the fitness industries. We know that at least 21% of adults in the US regularly wear a fitness tracker, which is another IoT device. As marketers, what this tells us and what this research has told us is that 83% of the organizations who have introduced this IoT technologies in their organizations, they have been able to improve their efficiencies and their marketing campaigns. And over 94% of retailers agree that the benefits of implementing IoT technology far outweighs any risks.
Hi, I'm Anne Mary. Now let us see the case study of the company ClassView. ClassView delivers a blend of premium site, contextual blogs, CTV platforms, content discovery services, and mobile apps. It actually integrates information from several IoT devices, including the wearables like smartwatches, smart shoes, and other appliances like the smart refrigerators, televisions, etc., and timely recommends the advertisements. It actually makes the day-to-day life more smoother and faster using the IoT devices which are linked together, which is an ease of time in this busy life. They utilize the facial tracking as well as the eye tracking and retina recognition through AI webcam technology to measure the emotional receptivity and attention level in response to an ad of the consumer. Accordingly, they collect the data. Once this information is obtained, then they target the consumers based on their emotional receptivity to a message and optimize towards performance mid-campaign. It also uses this information to optimize towards the highest performing audience segments. With the help of IoT, it's connected to several devices and then ensures the ads are portrayed in an eye-catchy manner to attract the targeted consumers. Advertisements can be viewed in the smart devices which are used as part of the everyday life, showing how IoT becomes the new platform for advertisement as well as marketing. Glassview has been able to successfully use different IoT devices to showcase the advertisements of their customer companies like Adidas, Ralph Lauren, and other sub-customers. They are also able to implement numerous targeting layers through the integration with the first and third party data providers, which are the main target audience, including the contextual, behavior, demographic, and physiographic, etc. It is actually the visitation based, which target audience who have been to a specific store or place of interest. It is a web based tool which target audience who have visited a website or a category of website. There is also TV viewing based, which targets audience who have viewed a TV show or category of show. The elements of source stack model is appropriately depicted in GlassView, wherein the first step in the SORT process is situation analysis, which is the process of understanding the current state and where the business is in. And GlassView knows exactly about the current market trends and the customer insights. And the next is objectives. The 5S is used, that is sell, serve, sizzle, speak, and save. To sell is to understand where you want to actually take the business when it comes to customer acquisition and retention targets. To serve is to explore ideas that improve customer satisfaction. To sizzle is to add that wow factor to the business and make it really stand out from the crowd. To speak is to work on engaging customers and promoting a diverse conversation surrounding the business. And finally, to save is to begin the actual quantifying efficiency gains. And it is all satisfied by ClassView. ClassView knows the strategy by looking at the objectives that they have and discover ways to begin to actually implement it. They also have the control of the business and put in the necessary work to maintain.
So now let's look at the case study of Under Armour, a sports equipment company which produces footwear, sports and casual apparel, and how it joined hands with IoT to be the first ever company to embrace IoT, not by just acquiring one, but three health tracking companies and combining them into a one-stop shop that helps customer track and share information regarding their health. So Under Armour created a product and solution to track your steps, nutrition, map your run, measure your heart rate, calories burned, and check nutrition information time to time as recorded by your clothes or footwear. It launched two products: UA Speedform Gemini 2 sports shoe, Under Armour E39 shirt, which helps you track your footsteps, map your run, calculate your heart rate, and calories burned. It acquired digital app MapMyFitness, MyFitnessPal, and Edmondo, and brought one-stop solution for the customers by acquiring the data from its clothes. Now let's see how Under Armour is using IoT. Under Armour has gotten a hold of advertising and marketing as per the latest trends and norms. With some of the most influential people on board, it follows a proper set of marketing strategy and system. Different apparels and footwear designs, Under Armour bring out its style, appealing to the customer. Utmost priority is given to the quality and manufacturing procedures, with products using IoT to track health and fitness. Advertisements through highest watch sports influencers and collaborating with universities to provide uniforms and equipment. The most advantageous marketing strategy has been collaborating with the wrestler celebrity Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's one of the most influential people in the modern era, in the fitness world as well. The elements of McKinsey 7S model is appropriately depicted in Under Armour's strategy, as we see Under Armour collaborating with different ideologies but bringing into the table the same thing, a marketing strategy to promote it to the customers.
Brands using IoT for marketing. The Ralph Lauren in New York uses the smart mirror that enables the customer to try on the clothes. The mirror will actually stimulate the clothing item on the customer's body and will give them the chance to try it on in many colors. All what the customer has to do is just to stand in front of the mirror and choose the piece of clothing they actually want. An example of IoT in the marketing field appears in many forms, like electronic devices, which are called beacons, those devices that are built on sending notes, ads, and notifications to customers on their smartphones whenever they pass by the store. The notification to the smartphones are sent, which attracts them towards promotions, discounts, and offers of a section and aisles that they prefer. Sainsbury has an app called Smart Shop. It actually allows you to scan the items before you put them in your trolley or basket. In return, you can score unique discounts and enjoy a faster checkout. AWM's Smart Shelf is outfitted with edge displays and high-definition optical sensors to display the product pricing and information that transmit data about inventory levels. It can also recognize a consumer's age, gender, and ethnicity for the purpose of delivering more specific display content. Walmart has enhanced their mobile app with IoT data. Customers can search for in-stock products and create a shopping list in advance. The target uses IoT-based beacons to collect user data and send hyper-personalized content.
We will now be looking into IoT marketing challenges. 28% of the global urban households and 63% of the global rural households have no internet connection, which is definitely a challenge. But at the same time, we do know that 66.2% of the world population is connected via internet, and this number grows rapidly day by day. The next issue is integrating with existing technology. As both concept and technology, IoT doesn't exist in a vacuum. For its successful and profitable adoption, the technology needs to be integrated into the existing system. Currently, no common IoT protocols and standards exist. So devices produced by different manufacturers might not work with existing technology. Each device may or may not require different configurations and hardware configurations, making it hard to deploy efficiently. Very little support services and troubleshooting services exist. To overcome this, IoT should be looked at as a people's business, and the success depends on taking the employees on the journey from the start to the finish. Tangible and non-tangible elements of the transformation are needed to be analyzed. The next biggest issue is cost of implementation, closely followed by unclear return on investment. The return on investment is simply defined by the ratio between profit and cost of investment. 90% of the executives struggle to accurately measure the return on investment of their IoT initiatives. This is one of the many common IoT challenges in big and large complex organizations that question value of IoT for their businesses. To overcome this, the first thing to remember is that leaders should only consider digitalization and IoT journey once they've established a clear business goals. Companies tend to fall in love with technology, but forget the actual business value IoT should bring. Each IoT solution will have a big impact on business strategy, organization, culture, and people as well. The next biggest issue is security and data privacy concerns. 98% of the IoT device traffic is unencrypted. IoT related security breaches are quite common, malware attacks, human errors as well. DDoS attacks, which all potentially expose personal and confidential data on the network, leading to our next biggest question: is data privacy at stake? Mass commercial access to customer personal information, the information itself can be potentially abused, sold, or used for unsanctioned tracking, and so on. Keeping data gathered and transmitted by IoT devices safe is challenging as they evolve and expand in use day by day. Business leaders are naturally worried about the cyber attacks, the risks they propose. With more and more devices and assets connected and the networked, executives are becoming more wary of increased digital attack surface and greater vulnerabilities. As the number of vulnerabilities increases, the attack surfaces become more and more important to defend. To overcome this, companies should use planning phase to embed security into IoT project, establish threat risks while the project is being developed. It is essential to have a risk-driven strategy in place. Establish cybersecurity departments, applying new principles like zero trust, and verify all actors in a network. Information privacy laws are coming into effect globally too, meaning that not only does it make good businesses sense to protect data, but businesses are legally required to do so as well. The 3V strategy for IoT marketing, starting with volume. Currently, data is generated by machines, buildings, employees, partners, and customers, etc. The size of available data has been growing at an increasing rate. This is big data in play. The next is velocity. Sensor data, the more Internet of Things take off, the more connected sensors will be out there in the world, transmitting tiny bits of data at a near constant rate. As the number of units increase, so does the flow. New sources of data, such as machines and the workplace, the data is now streaming into servers in real time in continuous fashion. The next is variety. Data streams have changed, lost structure, adding hundreds of new formats: pure text, photo, audio, video, GPS data, SMS, PDF, Flash, etc., etc. There is no longer any control over the input data format. The 3V's describe the data to be analyzed. Analytics is the process of deriving value from that data. Once we start talking about data in terms that go beyond basic buckets, once you start talking about epic quantities, insane flow, and wide assortment, you are talking about IoT. By creating the best possible customized product or service, we can build customer affinity and provide additional sources of revenue from that data. This will signal the dawn of a new era for IoT that will see it take the center stage as one of the most important innovations and disruptors of the century. With IoT marketing, we will be able to achieve business-to-business models by selling product as media. When items are activated, they become data-driven, own media platform for launching digital experiences and content. And then the B2C model, products as a service. Tailored services can adapt to user preferences and improve over time as they learn and new digital upgrades are developed. And then the D2C model, ecosystems connected products. By establishing more connections with partner products, apps, and data services in digital ecosystem, products can unleash extra consumer and commercial value, which will finally lead to our conclusion. Despite all concerns and risks, development of IoT technologies and its implementation in marketing is inevitable. The level of their awareness may not be equally high for everyone, but over time, this problem will be solved based on their own experience. Therefore, IoT marketing is the best marketing technique for the future.